The leftover stains of coffee leave a mark in history. The metal spoon creates a unique rhythm, a special feeling that spreads throughout your body. These are the traits that define a cup of coffee. And in Singapore, this is what 5 million Singaporeans can relate to.
这是我的最爱。
我小时候就喝咖啡了。
Warm kaya toast, hard boiled eggs, and a cup of freshly brewed coffee. This has become a ritual breakfast meal for most Singaporeans. And there's no better place to enjoy these things than at a coffee shop. Coffee shops are places where people go to have their meals. They have a wide variety of food to suit a wide variety of tastes. In Singapore, these places are more commonly known as kopitiams. Kopitiam is a combination of the Malay word kopi, which means coffee, and the Hokkien word tiam, which means shop. Hence, kopitiam literally means coffee shop. Though coffee shops have evolved tremendously over the years, some of them have remained unfazed through the test of time. Timeless instruments. Metallic chimes that symbolizes the start of an aromatic journey. Dialects that invoke a sense of déjà vu. An indescribable essence that slowly passes through your senses. One step in the old coffee shop, and it feels like the 70s all over again. If you're looking for a place to reminisce, look no further than Tong Ah Coffee Shop. Having been established since 1939, this makes Tong Ah Coffee Shop one of the oldest in Singapore. Located in Chinatown, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the sight of the old floor tiles gives the place an atmosphere of its own. Its owner, Mr. Tang, is famous for his special homemade kaya spread recipe. This recipe has been passed down for many generations and will definitely leave you craving for seconds. He also holds much pride towards his coffee, which has captured the hearts of many.
Yeah, 因为我有我自己传统的咖啡，我自己 blend 的东西，我肯定我自己满意啊，顾客满意啊，就是可以了。如果顾客不满意，我不满意啊，就是还没有到那个水准。每天一杯就知道你的咖啡的程度去到哪里。每天那个咖啡炒不好嘞，还是炒焦了，你喝就喝得出了。因为我们每天喝的一定要喝一杯。
以前的比较好吃一点，因为全部用火炭煮的，这些烧水用火炭的木材烘，烧出来的比较好喝，有传统的味道。
The people who can appreciate the past are the ones who have lived through and basked in its culture. It was a place where different dialects were spoken and where food tasted like home.
以前有看啊，有些人是福建人，就他们去中福建话比较多，讲福建话。有些人住在广东的甘榜里面，然后讲广东话比较多啦。也有人讲海南话啦，有各种话都有啦，因为很少讲华语。
The uniqueness does not stop there. Over the years, Singaporeans have adopted many unique pet names to certain drinks. Names which are uniquely Singaporean.
钓鱼以前不是这个叫咖啡的。
我知道那是茶。
好像他们叫茶奶，他们是叫奶龙，那个是奶茶。咖啡屋他们是 Kopi 那个好像烂奶哦，烂奶哦是一个咖啡屋一个茶屋，烂奶是一个咖啡一杯茶。两靠就是这两靠是两种掺在一起。
But as sweet as memories of the past get, there is a question that must be asked. Are the old coffee shops and their cultures dying off?
Kopi Siew Dai. It's Kopi but add milk, is it? I don't know.
咖啡少糖。哇，厉害噻！
Times have changed since the inception of coffee shops many years ago. These places, once full of tradition, are now making way for the newer generation of people who do not necessarily want to adopt the old traditions.
我女儿啦，她不学这个了，要读书了。要读书的人哪里要做这些东西？只有没有读书的人才做这些东西。如果那个流量不在，我人不在的时候，可能是消失了咯。多20年，你可能都看不到我了。
The nation is constantly transitioning into a more modern era. And with that, the younger generation will eventually take over. And the same could be said about coffee shops as well. Coffee shops are not dying, but have simply evolved to stay relevant in modern times. They've infused old traditions with modern design to cater to both the young and the old. In the heart of Singapore lies a coffee shop that is at the forefront of transition. And unlike Mr. Tang, the owner of this coffee shop takes on a more modern approach to the kopitiam formula.
I actually think that it's important to retain the food, the traditional food, the old cultures in Singapore.
We started off with just coffee and toast. Subsequently, we actually increased our choices for the customers by actually adding in French toast as well as a cheese egg bun and hard roll. Hard roll is actually a kind of kaya toast. It's just that we changed the old traditional toast to a baguette, so that to fit into the new generations.
With a change in generation comes a change in ideals. In today's society, technology has pushed coffee shops in a new direction.
Since changes takes place in all parts of our life, apart from the kopitiam, there are so many changes, technological change. It's really within our control.
I think glad to say that the olden coffee shop is still exists. It's just that it has gone modernized, and we still get to have the coffee and kaya toast.
However, as different as the two generations are, both the young and the old share similar sentiment towards the old coffee shops and can agree on one thing.
Be a loss to Singapore. Definitely, I suppose the coffee shop culture is an integral culture that's part of Singapore. Like the fact that we have all these like hawker centers, coffee shops. I mean, they are very closely related, as compared to the restaurant culture that is found in many other countries.
Coffee shops are really one landmark of Singapore. Without this, it's like you're not in Singapore.
It is a loss to communities, to people who treasure times at just below their blocks where they can hang out, they can chill out.
Definitely it will be a loss, but I think glad to say that the olden coffee shop is still exists. It's just that it has gone modernized, and we still get to have the coffee and kaya toast.
It's fascinating how divided yet united one can be over a simple cup of coffee. As accepting as we are of modern cultures, we should not lose sight of the elements that gave birth to them. You cannot really know where you are going until you know where you have been. Even though the authenticity of the old coffee shops is gone, you can still find some remnants of the past in every nook and cranny. So take a step into an old coffee shop today and have a cup of old tradition.